What's up, Gorilla Nation, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. If you happen to be new to the channel, or you're just enjoying the content, then please be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button. Also, reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. So just as the thumbnail suggested, the title of this video, yes, some would say the devs have gone rogue. But just to put some context in with this text, as we all know, there are tons and tons of trolls on social media. They don't want to offer constructive criticism and have a conversation about anything. They're just primarily there to be toxic and negative, to try to get under your skin and to get a reaction out of you. And 9 times out of 10, they don't want the reaction that typically some of us, like myself, or in this case Julian, gives them in return. They expect, since you're a professional or YouTuber or a game designer, for you to, cower behind, their statement and blow smoke up your butt and offer nothing in retaliation to what you say. But I'm a firm believer in give it as good as you get. So if you come with constructive conversation and criticism, I encourage that. But if you're just there to be negative and a troll and to try to say these harmful and hurtful things just to try to get a reaction, then I'm not only going to give it to you as good as you gave it, but 9 times out of 10, a whole lot worse and far beyond what you can imagine. That'll just, make you run away and not ever want to come at me again, such as what Julian did to this Fabio troll. So here's the tweet. Fabio says, Division 2 is a flop. And Julian responds, not as much as your dick. Enjoy your day. That is just classic. Bravo, Julian. Bravo. Applause, sir. Applause. I salute you, sir, for that response and comeback, because that is just epic and classic. And then there are some out there that would say, well, that doesn't show professionalism at all. He shouldn't have said that. Well, I can understand where you would see it from that point of view, but then others with the same mentality that I have sees it differently and applauds him for responding in the manner in which the dude came at him with. If the dude is actually a dude. Fabio, I mean, I would presume that's a dude, so whatever. But anyways, I mean, Fabio could have been more constructive and worded it differently to kind of more or less get across the same the same line of thinking that he was going on when it comes to Division 2. He could express his frustration, but if you look at his tweets over and over, again, you'll see he's just basically trying to be a negative troll. And if I was Julian, I would probably have said a lot more than that. But, he did have the professionalism enough just to have that nice golden one-liner and then told him to have a nice day and left it at that. You can't blame the dude, at least in my opinion, you can't blame him. I'm glad he actually did take a stand. I mean, because all across social media, you'll have these type trolls that no matter what you do or what you say, they're never going to be happy. You could cure cancer and they would still find something wrong and something to complain about. That's just the way society has become. Everybody's so soft, they expect you to bend over backwards to please them, but in hindsight, they're the type of folks that there is no pleasing them, because they're going to constantly complain no matter what you do. And there's a lot of those individuals in gaming communities such as Division 2, where they're never going to be happy. They're just going to be negative 24/7 regardless of what you say and do. Now, we all have a difference of opinion on how we choose to handle certain situations. But just because it's not our way or what we would do in the certain situation doesn't make it wrong that he handled it in the way he did. It just means we have a difference of opinion, and those out there putting manifestos on Twitter, trying to white knight and make this out to be something bigger than what it is, they're essentially turning an anthill into a mountain, if you know what that phrase means. They're basically trying to create something out of it, when essentially you can't blame the guy. If you get someone comes at you, then either you're going to be a coward and run away and not say anything and just sit idly by and just ignore it, or you're going to have the mentality you're going to give it just as good as you get And it's either one way usually or the other. But we do need to more or less come together as a community. There does seem to be not enough transparency when it does come to certain things when it involves the devs of Division. And you can chalk it up to they're only human. They might have a lot on their plate. No one actually knows because the transparency isn't there. And if it was, I'm pretty sure those negative Nancys would find still something to complain about. I mean, you can give and give and give and try to do whatever somebody, the community wants you to do, but then there's just some people that's just not going to be happy and still find reasons to complain about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or ways around it, because some people, they just can't be pleased. So, in my opinion, the devs need to do what they need to do when they need to do it, regardless of what the mob mentality deems them to, because generally they're not going to be pleased anyways. Do what you think is best for the game and just try to be more transparent about it. Because you shouldn't be having PvE players coming to an ETF concerning PvP and then vice versa. And then you have some, offering up these suggestions. Well, survival would save the game. Not necessarily save the game, but that is something that comes along in year 2, just as it did in Division 1. So you're saying push out more and more content because society deems the gimme mentality, and don't look at it as they already have these plans implemented on what they're going to release, when they're going to release them. And even though sometimes, unexpected things come up and some things have to be delayed, but all in all, I don't mind a delay if the core of the game and the core of the bugs and fixes and the balancing is going to be implemented, because to me that is more important than just adding shit content on top of a pile of shit. I mean, I'm not saying that the game is that. I'm just saying that why compound the situation and submit to this mob mentality of the gimme, and all you're doing is compounding the situation and making matters worse. Yes, that would be more content, but you would have half-assed crappy content on top of unbalanced and bugs and everything else, just so you can say there's more content. Well, that in turn is still going to be problematic because it needs balancing, it needs some fixing, and so there would be better enjoyment of new content that they can bring out. But yet if you compound the situation, then it's just going to make matters worse and end up going to make the job of the fixing the bugs and balancing a lot harder and a lot longer in the long run. They're all about the here and now and not looking at it for down the line and future wise. Future wise, we need this in the early conception of the game and within the first year to get these balances and fixes in place, so that way all the year 2 and year 3 stuff that are coming out won't have this and these many problems as we're having now, instead of compounding the situation. So we all do need to work together. I do admit they should have some little bit more transparency, but you shouldn't be down on these guys or degrading them, the devs or whatnot, for standing their ground or standing up for themselves against these trolls on the internet. We have enough of white knights out there throwing their manifestos, just trying to act like they're buying for or bidding for a job, from some PR stunt or whatever, just from just how society deems that something tragic or unexpected or bad happens, and then you want to exploit it to try to make yourself look better and white knight it. I don't think that's going to solve anything. That just shows you're disingenuous. But if you happen to have seen this on Twitter, let me know what you thought about it. What your reaction would be, or would you have handled it any differently, or what would you have done, or what do you typically do when some troll comes at you with all this negativity and tries to get a rise out of you and a reaction? What would be your reaction? So let me know in the comment section below. I do appreciate each and every one of you. We're still almost at 10K, and Title Update 6 is next week. And once Title Update 6 drops, since I'm a Year 1 pass holder, I will be starting playing it as soon as it drops on the 15th. I will be live streaming it, and in that live stream, there will be tons and tons of giveaway, anywhere between some Gorilla Nation apparel, as you'll see on the links in the comment section below or the description below, as well as some Xbox live cards, also some PSN cards, maybe even some Steam cards. There's going to be tons and tons of giveaways, so check that out when I live stream Title Update 6 when it drops on the 15th. We'll see you guys fudging later.